Hello, my name is Hannah. Today I decided to build like a tiny, like like a small town kind of family home. I don't know what inspired this build. I was just like, I want to build in Strangerville. I don't know why. I don't like ever build in Strangerville, and if I do, I build like large Victorian houses or trailers. I did build a trailer. I've built several trailers, but this one's like an actual like small like kind of like family home. I was inspired by like the fact like that like houses that aren't in like big cities look different from ones that look in like in small towns, like at least in my like case or like my experience. And I was just like, what if I built one of those? Now this is a fairly boring house on the outside. It's just gray and white. That's about it. And but the inside, that's where like the clutter. There's a bunch of family photos everywhere, a bunch of plants. But that's like my style, not like a small town kind of thing. It may be though. But I was just like, I'll put like a bunch of family portraits and some plants, and that's just my entire idea of small town family homes apparently. But today I was gonna talk about I was like I thought of this idea when I was watching a TikTok, and it was like it was just a random one. I don't know who it was by, but it was like going to check your grade after like that, like the teacher said that like the highest score was like a 43% or something. It was random. It has very little like any like association with what I'm going to talk about. But in 8th grade, we had just finished reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and we had taken the test like a week prior, like the last Friday or something. And she comes in, my English teacher. She comes in and she's like, you guys didn't do well on that test. And obviously, we're like, I think it was like a diff English class, so all of us were like, oh no, we're gonna die. But like, honestly, some of us could like probably die with like a 75% on a test, so like, we were like, what is it? And so she was like, the most points that a person got was 18 out of 38 questions right, because she didn't say like a grade, like a 72%. She said like that many points out of like the full, and this was like most of it was multiple choice. Like the first half of it was multiple choice, and then there were some like fill in the blank answers. Now this was a paper test. We took like in English we took a bunch of like paper, like on like written paper, like packet tests. I don't know why. The rest of the classes we were doing like online, like Google, like what are the I don't know, the Google Forms. We did those tests. We do that now. But we were taking packet tests, so all of us were like always like scared to get back our like tests. And now, to preface this, these tests were always mildly horrible, mostly because most of the tests we took were not based on books. They were based on I think Greek and Latin roots, because apparently they decided that that was very important for us to learn. There was no point. I don't remember any of it. None of it. We did that in 7th grade too. I don't remember one singular root at all. Couldn't even tell you the like letters or any of the meanings. Like, it was so weird. But those tests, they were horrible. They were really boring, and they had no point to them in the slightest bit. But those weren't always terrible. You just always expected to get like 4 to 5 wrong. But like these tests, the book tests weren't very good. Those we always were like, this is not gonna go well. But this one was like, I think one of our like it's like the second or third book, so like one of the middle books and one of the middle book tests that we took. So it was like kind of just in the middle. But like these tests were not like normal like book tests. It's not like, describe this character and like their plot line. It was more like, what is their motivation because of like this action, and it was so dumb. But like the questions were okay. They were fine. The multiple choice ones were fine. But they were kind of difficult. I missed like half of them. I can say that we did not do good on this. I definitely did not. I don't think we ever got them back. I don't think we ever got the test back. But I don't think they went in the grade book either, because she was like, oh, I failed all y'all. So, but that's fine. But like all of the questions were so weird, and then the last 8 questions of the test were like a match person to a character description. And it wasn't like blue eyes, brown hair, wears t-shirts. It was more like, is inspired by a crow, is like weird, and it was really bad. I don't remember many of the questions, but it was like, who acts the most like a crow, and it's just like lists like 3 characters, and all of us were just looking around the room like, are you understanding any of this? And obviously none of us were. Now I think I don't remember what number I said at the beginning of how many out of like 38, but it was not good. It was not good. I think I only got like 10 or 12 right. God, it was really horrible. Some kid got none of them right. I feel bad for that kid. I don't remember what kid it was. He may have gotten 1, but he also got a point for your name. So, that's sorry, buddy. But like, it was also an issue putting names on a paper. I'm like, you're in 8th grade, put your name on your paper. But like, that test, I will never forget the fact that those book tests were so horrible. It just doesn't make any sense. And like, those questions are not normal. Like, on a normal book test, I was saying this like briefly, but like, it's mostly like the plot line of the book, and not like, you might as well be asking what color the curtains were in chapter 4. And like, that's not that's not part of it that I remember. And so it was just a bunch of random nonsense. All of the questions on every single one of the tests was like that. But this one was especially horrible. It was boring. The test was boring. The book was pretty good, but we also had to read it in groups, which made it really worse, because people suck. But the people were fine, but it's just group reading. No, I'm okay. And then we had like discussions about it, and that was the only book we had discussions. Well, no, we had 2 books that we took discussion like groups on. Both of them we sat there not talking about the book. One time, like, oh, I have a story. I'm not gonna say it now, but I'll tell it in probably tomorrow's video, because I have nothing to talk about. But we're getting to the end of the video, so I hope you enjoy the video. I hope I will tell the story, I promise. But it's almost screenshots time, so I post a new video every day of the week, so you can watch another video tomorrow. Bye!